Hi folks, and welcome to another DayZ commentary with me, Kirk. That's right, I am back after my little getaway, and because I've been away, I thought, I'm back. Let's kick things off with an episode which lasts just over an hour. I know quite a few of you guys like the longer episodes, so it's my way of making up for a little bit of lost time. So, where we left off, we had just been to the sort of castle or little tower area, picked up some nice loot, including an Alice pack, and we're now heading to another town. And this town is near the castle, and it's called Vaishnoi. Don't really know how to pronounce it, but yeah, it's just north of the castle, really. So my intent is to move to this town and then continue further on north, hoping to get to Stary Sobor, which I understand is a more military focused town and should hold some interesting weaponry for us. So I'm feeling pretty good at this point. Just picked up some cool gear from that guy. His loss is my gain, as it were. I haven't really seen any other people around. I'm thinking whatever fights that have occurred are, long since past, and I should be relatively safe moving into this town. But we shall see. As always, still trying to be relatively sensible about how I approach this area. Looks like there's a few buildings there that are perhaps things that I could go into and explore, but we'll see. Looks like there's a zombie out there that was walking and decided to start hobbling along. All things considered, I'm in pretty good shape. My blood is not too low. 10,000 is a nice healthy supply of blood. Not the maximum, but hey, it's pretty close. Yep, so I can see the name of the town there. And it confirms that yes, this is Vishnoi or Vaishnoi. So something you guys might know, and it's a question I've been asking myself lately, is how can you determine whether or not the vehicle that you're looking at is one that can be repaired? They all look pretty ruined, and definitely not the kind of thing that you could repair. So I'm just curious, is there a particular way that you can determine if a vehicle is able to be repaired? So that zombie just walking along the street, I'll let him go about his business. He doesn't seem to be causing me any troubles at the moment. I really just need to try and keep quiet, keep calm, and move on through. So whilst I'm trying to sort of sneak my way through here, a few of you guys have asked for live commentaries where I do the commentary as I'm playing. It's something that I'll definitely give a shot at and maybe do a couple of episodes of and see, what your feedback is. But for the next few episodes, we're just going to do the normal style commentary, as it does seem to work well. But here we are, another couple of guys coming in. So, foolishly, I've actually got a far more powerful weapon than the Makarov, but I'm so accustomed, after having the Makarov for so long, at shooting 3 times. And yeah, here now I'm like, okay, just shoot them once. And it was a real shame that I wasted so much ammo by shooting 3 times. The M1911 does not require you to shoot zombies 3 times, just once. And I wish I had figured that out in my mind sooner. Nevertheless, I have quite a bit of ammo left, so don't need to worry too much. Time to check over the zombies, see if there's anything useful there. But yeah, as I was saying, definitely I'll look to maybe do a live commentary in the future. And also, I've bought an XSplit license, so we could perhaps arrange some sort of a live stream if that's something you guys are interested in sort of watching and being involved with, you know. So yeah, I've been doing a few test runs on that, so you know, stay tuned. Definitely listening to your feedback and looking to try and take action on that. So stay tuned for some more live commentaries and live streams in the not too distant future. So I did attract a few zombies there, which I could have done without, but luckily it did not get out of hand. Looks like we've got a building here that I'll be able to go in. Just need to work my way in. Quite a big step here, which is a bit weird. And I managed to step over the step. Let's try this again. Who would have thought? Somebody so rugged and intelligent, you know, able to survive from zombies all this time, is defeated by a step. My survivor, I'm not sure, can't remember if I mentioned this, is actually an old man. If you ever happen to bump into me on a server, I'm a very old man. Hence the marks on my hands, my wrinkled, decaying hands. I'm not even undead. So it seems fairly quiet. Can't go inside that building. This building on the left also doesn't look like one I can go in. But the car there that I'm just walking by, I'm wondering, is that one of those kind of cars that you can repair? Don't know. I never pick up car parts because I'm kind of like, I don't know what cars can be repaired. So there's actually a water pump over there. Definitely something that take note of when you go by. Fill up your water bottles if you can. Broken Humvee. I think I can hear a zombie over to my right, so just trying to be cautious of that. Hello. And down. So just trying to stay still for a second. Any of his friends coming? Yep, we've got one at least. He's down. Another two coming. Another 3, 4. Okay, getting a little out of hand now. Just putting my back up against the wall so I should have good visibility about all of those that are coming. Taking quite a bit of damage. Blood down to 7,800 now, which is not ideal. Can hear another one coming around the corner. Gonna reload, be prepared. Here he is. And he, yep, stood up and he's down. He was quite quick for a little hopping guy. Okay, yeah, definitely getting out of hand. Yeah, this is very, very risky. Great. Another one. So, in a recent patch, the patch wasn't live at the time I was playing this, but in a recent patch they've changed things slightly. When you spawn now, you spawn with no weapons, so you have no way to defend yourself, and the intelligence of the zombies has changed slightly. They are now affected by line of sight. So in theory, if you're hidden behind a fence, they should not come after you because it blocks their line of sight. And apparently they also can no longer attack through walls, which always a good thing. So just trying to check the zombies, and when there's so many of them piled up, it's really difficult to figure out which body you're actually looting or examining. This guy has some Franken beans, so why not? It would be rude not to. So I entered this town with over 10,000 health, and I'm already down to like 7,500 basically. So it's definitely taken its toll. I don't feel like I was being too careless, but clearly not careful enough. So I can see the guy hopping over there. I'm just trying to get myself prepared. Trying to assess, is it sensible to shoot him from where I am, or should I sort of step back in here? Or can I just leave him be? Oh yeah, I can't leave him be, he's coming after me. Missed the first shot, take him out with the second. Keeping my ears open to hear if any others are coming. Doesn't seem like that's the case. He has another bandage on him. I should have taken that. There's no reason I shouldn't have. I had the inventory space, but I think, again, the constant onslaught of zombies just wearing thin on me slightly. Wanting to move on from this area now. Check out this sort of barn area. Jerry can in there. Again, until I am able to successfully and you know, really understand what makes a vehicle one that can be repaired, I have no baseline. I have no way of determining how often I'm going to come across those, and you know, so it doesn't allow me to really weigh up, you know, oh, I come across a broken car that I could repair every other city, then, you know, I can sort of weigh up properly. Should I take the fuel? You know, should I collect these car parts? Or if it's a car that maybe I'll come across once every 10 cities, then, you know, it's going to be less high on my priority list. So I'm trying to climb to the top of this water tower now, just to get a bit of an overview from a high position, see if there are any other survivors that I might be able to see, and get a good perspective on just how many more zombies are left in this area. I have killed a lot of them. Looks pretty clear. There's a few zombies really. I find often it helps to just sort of take a moment, be still, and you'll notice the smaller details moving, such as those trees in the distance just swaying slightly. But in the town generally there doesn't seem to be anything going on at this point. Alright, it's time to come down. So whilst I was doing this, a few of my friends have recently got DayZ, and I'm just trying to give them some guidance as well over where they might be and what good steps are. So yeah, also I'm trying to give them some tips as I do this. So steadily moving out. You know, I really feel like I paid for my mistakes in this town a few times, so trying to be a lot more considerate as I leave. So this town is just south of Stary Sobor, so it shouldn't take me too long to get there. And Stary Sobor is not a town that I've actually successfully made it to before, and rumor has it, you know, the word on the grapevine is that there's some good stuff there. I don't know what's over this ridge, so want to approach it nice and carefully. Winchester at the ready. You know, so far we've made it this distance and we haven't had to kill anyone yet, which is good. I can hear a few zombies about me, so just trying to... I don't want to just sort of jump out and say hi zombies, you know, I do want to try and sneak past if I can. And there are quite a few broken down vehicles on this hill from what we could see from the water tower, so just got to keep that in mind as well. And zombies tend to congregate around things, I guess, such as cars. Here, there's a guy, yeah, perfect example. Don't think he's noticed me, don't think he's going to as well, so I'll leave him be for now and just carry on. Okay, I think I'm a safe distance from him now to be able to run on. So, I know that Stary Sobor is a town that a lot of survivors try and make their way towards. So it's my intention at this point to, if I can, try and stay slightly off the road, keep checking my back, and make sure that it's safe. Because we've made it this far, we really don't want to be in a situation where, you know, we put this progress in jeopardy. Just checking on my compass, which is north. We've made this mistake before when I got so close to Stary Sobor and then stupidly went the wrong direction and undid all that good work. So a dirt road that splits off there. I can use this little fork in the road to determine that I am heading in the right direction. And this road here is heading north. So I need to really stay on this road. It's meant to fork off. I'm still a good distance away yet from Stary Sobor, but I'm on the right path. I haven't heard anybody for quite some time, and there's been no sign of anybody behind me or in the town that I was in. So I don't at this point think it's going to do much harm to stay near the road, and certainly gives me a better degree of confidence that I'm heading in the right direction as well. I know that this road will connect to the southeast part of Stary Sobor. So as long as I can keep my eyes on this road, or follow this road, I will get to where I need to go. Yeah, and the compass has confirmed that this road is also heading north, so, you know, all good so far. Looks like we have ample time to get there before nightfall or any other natural occurrences such as rain or lightning or anything that can really lower my visibility or make it difficult to hear any threats around me. So yeah, checking my compass again, checking my watch, and it looks like it's just after 12 o'clock. So I can see a big structure up ahead. It's still slightly obscured at this point. Checking my back, still looks clear. So things are coming more into focus now. I can see Starry Sobor just up ahead. And that circular sort of like, it looks like a golf ball. I'm not too sure what kind of building that is, but yeah, this is definitely the right place. Just trying to think, what's the more sensible option? Should I try and go to that large building? Looks like it looks like a more of an industrial structure, quite big, made of like corrugated metal. Or should I head more deep into town and try and look around some of the smaller buildings? My past experiences of these sort of large corrugated metal buildings hasn't been that great. There's never really been anything inside them. They do seem to be quite a safe place to try and just take stock of your situation though. Generally speaking, they're very open inside. There's lots of different walkways that you have, a few different areas that you can climb up on, so it's quite easy to get up there to try and, you know, get away from any zombies that might be chasing you down. So a little bit paranoid about my approach. Stary Sobor is a very popular place and I really don't want to run into anybody, so my plan is to try and, in a stealthily way, discreetly try and just sort of poke in and out to areas that may contain items sort of from the tree line. So move around in the tree line, see my objective, move into the objective, check out what items I can obtain, and then dip back out to the tree line if I can. I still don't have a good perspective in terms of the scale, so just moving on a little bit in the tree line allows me to see a few extra buildings and get a better sense of how big the area is. So there's a fenced off area there, looks like maybe some sort of power supply or electricity box, so definitely not something that I'm going to be able to get access to. So again, using the cover of the trees, moving up the side of the city before I decide where I'm going to try and move in. Quite busy, quite a lot of zombies, and in an area that is very high risk in terms of other survivors that may be around. Absolutely do not want to attract zombies. Of all the places that I do not want to attract zombies, it's places where there are other survivors. It's just going to be like shooting 500 flares in the air and saying, look at me, I'm over here, I've probably got some goodies, why don't you come and check? So, you know, the zombies have got this place sewn up pretty tight, so I'm really just trying to shift along the outside, find a good place to move in, but it's really proving difficult. There's a guy, even, you know, I feel like it's not characteristic of zombies to be this far in the perimeter of an, you know, like a city. But no, he's, yeah, he's definitely pretty near. You got the other guys walking in the opposite direction though, so I might be able to squeeze between them. I'm still in pretty good cover. If I go between them, maybe I can get to that building. Nah, he's turned around. So I'm, you know, looking at the eye and the ear. I'm, you know, in terms of sound, I shouldn't upset the zombie, and I've got minimal sight at the moment. So he's moving off to the right. Doesn't seem to be any other zombies nearby I need to worry about. I'm being, you know, as quiet as possible. And there's some good cover here as well. So, another hopping zombie, but he is moving away. So I'm trying to now use this sort of group of trees and bushes as an inroads into Stary Sobor. The old golf ball there. Some very subtle snarling on the right, but okay. So, a gentle jog up to this house, stopping for a second, seeing if I've attracted anything. I think it's clear. Can still hear quite a few zombies around, but I haven't heard any of the survivors. And you know, you can see how careful I'm having to be here in order to not be detected by any zombies. So if there were any other survivors in town, chances are I'd probably attract some. They would probably be attracting some zombies. And it looks like, even though I was trying to be quite careful, I may have attracted one. So, knowing typically what these structures are like on the inside, I'm just trying to think about, you know, is it more sensible to go inside the structure or just try and get out in the open as much as possible, away from other zombies, finish that one guy off? Can that be the extent of how much I've exposed myself? Doesn't look like he has any decent loot on him. Just gonna double check. That looks clear. Okay, got one more on me. Now, there are quite a few zombies just on the outside of this building. So that leads me to believe that it's very possible somebody, perhaps in a similar situation to myself, they've attracted a few rogue zombies and have gone inside as a way to try and slow them down and pick them off. So I have shot just outside this building, and it's very possible somebody else could be in there. So switching to my pistol maybe gives me a bit more maneuverability inside. I'm just trying to, as I walk up, look over my shoulder. Looks clear. Looks like if somebody was here, they've since left. No sign of any loot. Not on the ground floor either. So just crashing down a little bit. So I'm just, you know, be slightly less visible. I mean, I'm pretty visible, unfortunately, anyway, due to the openness of this sort of walkway. One zombie just sort of crawling around there, out in the grass. So, very interesting. Some tents set up there, some military tents, possibly to do with the zombie outbreak. That is now absolutely my objective. If there's gonna be some cool loot around here, my gut's telling me that it's gonna be in the sort of military looking tents. But then again, I'm sure I'm not the only person that's thought that. So it's just a case of try and get a good sense from the outside as if, you know, if there's any other threats in terms of other survivors in there, and move in very carefully. So I'm opposite a structure here that looks like it might hold something. It looks like I can definitely go inside, and as I'm right next to it, I may as well check it out. So it looks like we've got 2 pouches. Could contain ammo or anything else. These pouches really are just like a variety bag. So 2 Makarov mags. As there's some food here, I've had something to eat and I'm picking up the excess food, so the sardines. I don't have a Makarov anymore, so I'm not going to bother picking up the Makarov mags. Don't need any road flares at this point. So going out the way that I came in. So we've got a long barn here. Trying to think, is it going to be better to go into that barn? But looks like there's another load of loot here. I just need to try and go through before I go any further. Having a drink because there's a Pepsi here, and I was a little bit thirsty anyway. Now, there's not always a reason to drink unless it's flashing. But, you know, if I come across it, rather than just leave it there, why not keep myself topped up, as I always say. Heat pack, Makarov mag, painkillers. Now, I don't need them. I don't need all the Makarov mags I'm carrying. You know, painkillers are going to be something that's a lot more useful. Time to move on. Okay, moving over to the long barn now. I'm gonna appreciate that I can close the door behind me if I need to. Doesn't look like there's any zombies crossing up ahead, so I should be able to move up fairly safely. Normally buildings that look like that you can get into in some shape or form. I'm not too certain at this point as I'm looking over. The end is sandbagged up. I'm not sure if that's something that's normally there on these kind of buildings. So yeah, it definitely looks like that's a building I could go into. Got to weigh up though, is it worth, you know, going over there? The military area is quite near to me and that's likely where the good loot's going to be. Do I risk it and go to that building? Check what's in this pouch. So bandage in the pouch, some chem lights, Makarov mag. Not something I'm particularly a fan of. So yeah, it looks like somebody sort of manually sandbagged that up maybe. Okay, looks like there's a few zombies around the outskirts of those tents. So just gonna check around me. So, okay, looks like I've attracted this guy. A military zombie. Hey up. Okay, one down. sliding around. So because there's a few zombies walking around in front of the tents, I'm thinking I'll give them some time to move around a little bit, maybe create a path that I can sneak through, and I'll go ahead and check over here in the meantime. So got some tin cans, a pouch containing something. Let's have a look. Makarov mag. Not interested. What do we have in here? Some bandages over there. Makarov mag, soda. I really don't need it. I only drank just a short time ago. And, other survivors might need it. Can hear something walking outside though. Yeah, it's just him. Okay. I'm hoping he won't see me and decide to come in and pay a visit. Another drink. Okay. The sound is slightly more aggravated, so I'm a little bit kind of thinking, is he coming in now? Well, maybe not. Doesn't look like that Gulf War is anything of use, just a bit of a landmark. Okay, looks fairly quiet around me, so just gonna do a little jog closer. Oh, hello, another guy. Try and move around him. Now there's quite a few zombies around here, so getting to these tents it seems like it's going to be really tricky. Okay, looks like we might have found a bit of a clearing. Gonna keep my eye on them. We've seen on a number of occasions now that zombies like to change their path quite frequently and randomly. So I might think one's walking away and he can turn around and just start heading straight for me. Okay, there's one. I'm sure I can see two. There's the second one. I can hear lots of snarls and gurgles around, so really got to keep looking around. I'm doing my best, I'm prone and I'm crawling along as slowly as possible. So I should be able to slowly sneak through here. You can look at the eye and the ear on the right hand side. Neither has any lines coming out of it, so I'm making I am as invisible as I can be and making the minimal amount of noise. Okay, getting up on my knee just to have a quick look around. Okay, I don't want to go near him if I can help it. So that white car, I'm kind of thinking it looks like maybe it's one that I can drive. We have had the motorbike before. Maybe we have found ourselves the lucky recipients of a cool vehicle. If there's a car that could be repaired, that kind of looks like one that you could do so, but it's going to be difficult to get close. He looks like he's walking to it, so I'm a bit nervous. So I'm shifting over to the right a bit. Okay, he's going down the other way, I think. Lots of bodies there. I'm hoping they're just sort of randomly placed bodies. Looks quite knackered, but looks in better condition than the bike did. But no, it doesn't look like I can drive it. So, I'm trying to get away from the zombies a bit. It's time to start checking out these tents. Okay, tin can, and what else do we have? No, nothing of use to me. I use the 1866 slugs in my Winchester. But that's not what's there. Again, body is empty, nothing on it. So now it's really, you know, trying to be thorough, checking through all the tents, seeing what there is. Again, none of these bodies have anything on them. You know, I'm keen to get this over with as quickly as possible. So, right, an AKM. Now, we've had bad experiences with this in the past, but we do have a bit more ammo than before. And I feel like the bigger risk for me at the moment is other survivors, and the AK will probably be the better weapon to combat them. So I'm picking it up for now, but I'm getting my M1911 out. You know, my plan is I'm not going to use the AK at the moment. I'm just going to hold on to it if I need to defend myself. So what do we have in here? What is in this pouch? G17 mag. Not something I can use at the moment. Gear. M203 smoke. So still looks clear. Few zombie noises around there, so I'm still a little bit nervous. This tent's clear. Some shells on the floor. Probably not ones I can use. Yeah, no, not for anything that I have. Again, these bodies on the floor just seem to be placeholder. So we've got some heavy machine gun sort of ammo here, but again, I don't have a heavy machine gun, and I haven't come across one yet. All clear. Moving on to the next tent. So it really is a case of, you know, being methodical and, you know, trying to check through each tent. You don't know what each tent could hold. You know, the one you could miss out could be the amazing tent that has super cool loots. Looks like there's a couple of bodies in that tent over there. Maybe something else. So I can hear a few zombies. Broke my legs. Great. So I'm going to use the morphine to sort out my broken leg. So load of pouches in here, and an AK-47, sorry, AK-74, which seems to be slightly different from the AKM that I have. I'm hoping, well, maybe this will be quieter than the AKM. Yeah, there's a good amount of ammo actually, more ammo than I got on the AKM. So I'll hold on to the AK-74 for now. Seems like you know, and the ammo advantage is definitely there. And that, yeah, that's a big deal having the RAM have ammo. So zombies coming in at the other end of the camp. Anything in here? Still looks clear. Okay, an interesting looking zombie, nicely suited up. Here's hoping it's not too noisy. One shot. And now I wait. Have I attracted a horde of zombies? Another one down. Okay. Third one. Feeling relatively safe. Doesn't seem like it's too loud. Maybe one more coming or two more coming I can deal with. You know, more shots than I would have liked to have used to clear these guys out. But at least it's killing them in one shot when I'm making the shot. Okay, this is manageable. But I am making a lot of noise. If there are other survivors in the area and they wanted to find another survivor, I'm, you know, my position definitely would be known at this point. So trying to take the silver lining from the different zombies that I've come across and check them for loot and gear. Okay, a load of more things in here. Package. GPS. Very nice. So first time I have ever come across a map or anything, and it's actually a whole GPS unit, which is fantastic. Really going to help me confirm my position. So I've got to look up the numbers to define my position. So 063, 063, 075, and there you are. You can see that I'm in Stary Sobor. So checking the other items. So now I've got the GPS, it's kind of like really ups the ante and the stress and the anxiety of how bad it will be to die. Never come across a GPS before, never even come across a map before. And we've come across another AKM. Now I'm trying to weigh up, I kind of like, I want to hold on to the AKM or the AK-74, but I'm just not sure which is the better choice. And I'm thinking that the AKM seems to have a slightly bigger sort of round. So I pick up the AKM. It seems like the round is a bigger size. I'm thinking bigger size equals more damage. trying to move through now and pick up the ammo from the other AKM that I previously dropped down. So, gunfire. Not good news. Means that somebody else is in the area. I want to try and skedaddle before they meet me or find me. It sounds like they've got a machine gun as well. So really looking to get out of here now. You know, I've made very good from Stary Sobor. I don't feel like I really need to examine the other buildings too intently. You know, I got what I came for, and I'd want to try and move further north now. Try and get to the airfield, and maybe pick up a vehicle. That's kind of what I'm really hoping for. If I can pick up a vehicle, I can head back down south, meet up with my friends, and we can try and move on together. But it's still a bit of a walk to get to the airfield at this point. So I'm trying to move out the way I came in. I really don't want to go deep into the town at this point. So I want to go to the west side of the town and then move north. So I'm sort of stepping back, moving around the outskirts, hoping that anybody who's come to Stary Sobor recently will be moving inwards, looking for items. And if I can step out and go around the outside, I should manage to avoid them. What I would really like to do though is to be able to keep sight of them. Or at least spot where they are. If I know where they are, I know where I need not be. Again, no sign of the other survivor. Okay, just trying to keep my distance from those zombies. Move up the west side of town. Stopping every now and again, taking a look around, trying to spot any of the survivors. We know there's one around here. Zombies do not shoot guns. So it's looking good if I can try and get to that slightly elevated position. There's good tree and sort of bush protection there to block me from their side, giving me a bit of cover, allowing me to have the elevated position where I can look down over the town and try and spot them. Okay, feeling much safer now. Getting a good distance between myself and town. I feel like I'm a good range from the zombies too. So, just looking at where I am on the GPS. So, 060, so just zooming in, getting a bit more granularity. 060. 077, so south a bit. There I am. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm sort of running along the, I guess, west side of town or southwest side of town, following it up northwards towards the airstrip. Now making my way into the elevated position, moving into the area of the trees and the bushes, giving myself that bit of extra cover. So there is a town which is south of the airfield called Cabanino that I want to make my way towards. But I hear another gunshot, I stop, trying to think of where I heard that gunfire. It sounds like they have something like an AK. And I'm just trying to stay still, look around, see what moves. Okay, it's a zombie, carry on looking around. Still, I don't see any zombies running to any particular location, and I can't see any body either. And, I'd feel a lot better if I knew where this person was. I've got some fairly decent cover here. It'd be definitely not the easiest thing for them to spot us as we're sort of stood in this tree line. Just stopping, just waiting to see if the survivor lets off another round of gunfire, just to try and help me audibly pinpoint their position a bit better. Doesn't look like they're over at the tents. Again, more gunfire. Slightly over to the right. It sounds kind of distant though. But there's a lot of buildings here really blocking my view of the path through town. It's just zombies. Just seems clear, so if they're shooting, they're probably preoccupied. I don't think they're shooting at me. I'm sure I would have I would hear the bullets ricochet. So just trying to make progress now. I think there's not too much that I can get from this anymore. Maybe if I get a slightly more elevated position, I might have a better chance of seeing them, but it's just so many bushes now, and I think I'm safe. So I kind of know where I want to go. I want to head north now. I want to get near Cabanino. But it's a lot of open ground, which isn't ideal. You really don't want to be crossing in open fields if you can. You want to be using tree line as cover. So this is kind of it feels like a position which has, before I leave town, the best possible overlook onto town. So I'm just trying to flatten the grass over there by rolling on it. And looking over at the tents, I just don't think I can see anyone. I can see zombies, around, but no other survivors. So, moving on, trying to move a little bit away from the road now, so that if you were on that road and you were to look to your left, I wouldn't be immediately obvious. I mean, there's nothing stealthily about running across an open field, but I want to try and minimize the risk as much as possible. So, there are going to be some bushes between me and the road, which might help give me cover. I know the other tree line that I want to get to, I can see that. And there are some bushes over there as well, like some trees, I think maybe lining the road, so Just trying to move as quickly as I can. You know, if that person was heading north through Stary Sobor, the quicker I move and the greater distance that I create from them, the less chance there is that when they do move north and they do start looking around, you know, the less chance there is that I will be there. So I do want to be stealthily, but I do want to also get ahead of whoever might be coming behind me. And we definitely know there's somebody there. We just haven't been able to see them. Again, more gunfire. Just getting down, seeing if I can spot somebody. Yeah, they're still shooting. I want to get out of here. I want to move away. The gunfire is quiet enough that I think I can, without too much risk, just sort of run across the field now. I don't feel like there's any chance they'll be able to see me, or that they're near enough to be able to see me or be a concern. But the fact that they're not a concern now means that I can keep it that way if I just try and keep this distance from them. So, you know, I am getting slightly hungry now and slightly thirsty. My blood isn't what it used to be. 7,300. So seems nice and quiet. Stopping for a second. Need to move on. Need to really get out of this open field if I can. Looks like I can see some maybe telephone poles or power lines. So I am heading towards the next city. Okay. This looks like a good place to stop if I need to try and figure out exactly where I am and how close I am to my next objective. Okay, good overlook onto the road, and if anybody was running across the field following my footsteps. So 055, 071. Okay, looks like this is it. This is where I am. So I'm not far now from Cabanino. But it looks like there's a bit of a lake there, which would be good to fill up my water bottle and take a break. You know, I don't think it's a good idea to take a break in a town. You know, if you need to take 5, it's good to do it somewhere off the beaten track. So if I head directly north, I should get to that little lake, and that's my plan. So I can see there was nobody coming up the road, so it should be relatively safe. Okay, I can see the lake. It looks like there's going to be a small hut there, which is a great pace. So a great place to take a break. Drink up, eat up, look at my map, look at my compass, look at the time, think about where I need to get to before it gets dark. I haven't heard any sounds from whoever it was in town, which is good. Hopefully they're still busy and not near me. Okay, here's the little hut. I'm sure it's going to be clear. This one, check. Yep, stepping from the side. Looks like a most slightly swampy kind of area. So, let's see if I can drink up and fill up my water bottle whilst I'm here. and a good place to hide out. And that's all we'll have for this episode, folks. Bit of a longer episode. We've made some good progress. We've got to Stary Sobor. We've found some awesome weapons. Got a GPS for the first time. We are now not far from the airfield, and who knows what we will find there. Hopefully we'll be able to pick up a car and make a bit of traveling towards the south. Maybe pick up some friends, but we'll see how it goes. See you next time, folks.